Morning everyone, how are you guys doing? I am so excited because I'm back with videos. I haven't done any videos for about 5 days, and that's mainly because I have been pretty ill for the last 5 days. I was over in Geneva getting fixed, but they have now completely fixed me. I can talk again, I can walk, I can do everything, I'm fine. And that means I can film videos again. So I apologize for the lack of videos and also updates on social media and everything. But it's been a rough couple of days. But now that I'm back, I figured straight away I might as well film a video. I decided what I needed to do now was talk to you guys about where I am with the car buying situation. Because you know I'm looking for a new car. I thought I'd just chat to you about the top 5 cars that I'm thinking about right now. And then you guys in the comments can let me know which one you think I should get. And it will be quite useful, but why don't we go take a car to have our chat rather than just doing it down here in my kitchen? Shall we take the Ferrari? No. How about the RS? No. We're gonna take the Twizy, of course. Oh, it's good to be back in this car. Well, car. Quadricycle, whatever you want to call it. I've made a short list of 5 cars that I'm considering. So I'm going to run you through those with pros and cons of each. And then I'm really actually counting on you guys and what you think to make my final decision. In no particular order. It's not because putting one first and one last that means those are how I'm ordering them in my mind. This is in no order. First of all, Fiat 500 Abarth. So I've mentioned that I wanted a car that would I would be able to drive around, that would excite me a bit, that wasn't the Twizy that I always needed to recharge. I was sort of a bit cooler than the C-Class in Monaco. But insurance-wise, because I'm only 19, means that it's very hard for me to get insured on cars that are too powerful. And also, I don't want to start at the top of the food chain in terms of cars necessarily. I want to sort of work my way up. So this is a nice way to keep this, you know, if I had an Abarth, I would not keep it for that long. But I think they're really cool little cars. You can tune them quite nicely. They're not that expensive, not too bad to insure. You can make them sound really good. So, the only issue with the Abarth is it's not exciting looking and they're so common. That's not ideal. The other thing also is I'm not sure how quick it is. I've never driven one. And if I would be taking it on trips, let's say across Europe with some friends in supercars, it would probably need to be a bit quicker. That being said though, it does have 4 seats and a boot, which is practical for friends. But I'm not sure how much that will convince me, seeing as I've already got the C-Class for when friends come over. So that's what I'm thinking Abarth-wise. I don't know if you say Abarth, Abarth, people say it really differently. But anyway, so that's what I'm thinking there. If I decide to get an Abarth, then I've got to decide which Abarth, because there's the 595, the Tribute to Ferrari, which is crazy expensive, so probably not that one. The C, the convertible type one, the Maserati edition. There's like loads, and I need to decide. So yeah, switching from that is a car with a lot more power that would be a lot more expensive to run and a lot more expensive to insure, which would be an E92 Bmw M3. I think they look great, the M3s. It's sort of like a classic for car guys as well. Well, I mean, obviously it's not a classic, but I mean the M3 in itself is like a mythical car that all car guys love, so I feel like that would be quite cool. I feel like you guys would maybe like it. The E92 is the V8 one, so the running costs of that will be pretty high. But it does make a mean noise. I'm not entirely sure on the figures, over 400 horsepower I'm pretty sure. Again, it does have the advantage of having 4 seats, having a boot. It would be quick on the road trips, I'd be able to keep up, be able to get some slidey action out of it, which is always good fun. My number one issue with that though, is that with the family we had a BMW 325i Convertible years ago. The old subscribers will be able to remember that. And that broke down a couple of times on us. So that's kind of put me off that Generation 3 series, if I'm perfectly honest with you. That's one thing that's sort of holding me back from the M3, but apart from that, it's also the fact that it is a V8, it probably drinks a lot, and I need to see insurance-wise whether I'll be able to get insured on it or not. So tricky. Ooh, nice little Clio RS. That's one you guys have been coming up with a lot, but I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest. However, the other advantages of a BMW is that you get the BMW sort of servicing, which is really good, much better than the Abarth in terms of reliability, I'm pretty sure, because Abarths don't have the best reputation in the world. Yeah, it's an M3, so that would be pretty cool. Number 3 would be the Lotus Elise. A bit more of like a sporty car, very, very hardcore, but that doesn't bother me too much. I mean, it's a 2-seater, which means it doesn't have the advantage of having 4 seats to bring my friends along and everything. It's got a tiny little boot, so if I brought it on road trips, that would not be the best thing in the world. But insurance-wise, it's actually not that bad. It's got such a tiny little engine. I'm not entirely sure which one I would get, whether I would get the I really like the look of the facelifted one that came out in 11, I think, 2010 or 2011. But I think that looks a lot better than the one with the 2 front lights. So ideally, I would get one of those. Running costs aren't that bad with that car because it's only a little 4-cylinder engine. And I think it feels a bit more sports car-y, so for all the trips and stuff, it would probably be pretty fun. And I've heard you can make it pretty loud with a nice exhaust. The downsides of it, A, not very comfortable for long trips, because it's a bloody Lotus Elise, so it has like no creature comforts. B, not the cheapest car in the world to buy for the sort of power and comfort that you get, but I've heard they're great to drive. C, Lotus also don't have the best reputation for reliability. I assume their new cars are a lot better with the Toyota engines. I mean, I've been told that you don't really get any problems with the new engines, they just run like perfectly, but you still have, as Jeremy Clarkson said, Lotus, which stands for lots of trouble, usually serious. So that kind of puts you off a bit, doesn't it? So that's the Lotus. Back to hot hatches. There's either, I'm not entirely sure, depending on budget and everything, an Audi S3 or RS3. So here we're back to the sort of Fiat Abarth kind of way of looking at things. In terms of it's a hot hatch, it's a lot quicker than the Fiat. Oh, there's an A1 passing by. It's an Audi, which is really good because I love Audi as a brand. I think they look really cool. There's also the S1 and stuff. Basically, in this category, it's not really Audi RS3, S3, S1, blah, blah, blah. It's like Audi hot hatch is what I would be looking at. They look really cool. They drive really well. They are very, very practical in terms of you can use them in snow if you want to, if you get a 4-wheel drive. You can use them during the summertime. They would grip and just be perfect around these little mountain roads. They make decent noises. They look nice. They have nice interiors. They do have 4 seats. All these things are really good about the Audi. A couple of issues with the Audi is A, it's not that exciting. It's not like, let's say, the M3 or the Elise, which will actually feel like sports cars. Specifically the Elise being a 2-seater sort of convertible. If I put a loud exhaust on it, would actually feel like, you know, like a proper event. As an RS3 or an S3 or S1 or whatever it would be, wouldn't really have that. Also, Mr. Paul Wallace already has an A1, which kind of ruins the fun. You do see a lot of Audi hot hatches driving around. And again, I wanted something a bit more rare. Last but definitely not least are all of the other suggestions. I know I said 5 cars, but last one is more like all of the other cars you've put within. You kind of get the idea of the price bracket now and what I'm looking for. It's a car, I probably wouldn't use it every day, so it doesn't necessarily need to be the most practical car in the world. Just most of the fast cars at this price range seem to also be practical, apart from the Lotus really. And that doesn't really bother me. So if it's impractical, don't worry. And basically the 5th one is all of your other suggestions. So Mini Cooper S was a suggestion of yours. Clio RS was another suggestion. BMW M2, all those sort of cars. The M2, the only reason I'm not doing it is because they're quite hard to get your hands on and they're pretty expensive, I feel. So yeah, all your other suggestions are really good. I do look into all of them. There's just a couple of cars that I really sort of clicked with, and those are the ones I've just listed, and those are the ones I really, really like. I'm not really edging in any particular direction. Your comments will really help me edge in a certain direction, I'm sure. But it's pretty exciting. I would ideally like to have the car maybe early next year, something like that. So I'm not in a huge rush, but it's definitely not, it's going to be, you know, pretty soon, I'm sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's try and make this decision together, guys. And I'm so glad I'm feeling better and I'm back and I can make videos for you. I'm going to be reviewing the RS in the next couple days, so that will hopefully be a decent video. And if you have any other ideas or videos I should do, it's often hard to come up with ideas or videos, but I want to try and put one up every day if I can, if I'm feeling okay. So that's the plan. So please write in the comments what you think car-wise and also what you want to see video-wise, and I will be reading all the comments and answering some of your comments accordingly. So thank you so much for watching as per usual. Please remember to subscribe, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Cheers, guys. Bye. Car you're gonna get next, or do you have an idea?
I have a pretty good idea of my next car, the next one, and